Welcome to this edition of City Corner, brought to you by the City of Granbury and Granbury TV. This program discusses the recent City Council agenda and what the outcomes mean to our citizens. On this edition, we will discuss the Opera House renovation project, new dog park, skate park, and so much more. First up is our city manager, Wayne McKethan. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Wayne, we've got a lot to talk about and a lot to cover from the last City Council agenda. First, let's start out by talking about the Opera House redevelopment project. Everybody is so excited about getting construction underway. So tell us a little bit about what happened on the last council agenda and what information was brought forward.
Well, what was brought forward is that we are now at a point where we can start construction. The Scott Tucker Construction Company has brought forward an early start as well as designs that are at least 50% complete. So they wanted to go ahead and get started while they complete the drawings of the approved footprint that was approved earlier. And so things are progressing. They're going to start construction on Monday, the 27th?
The 25th?
25th,
yeah,
the 25th.
absolutely.
And so we're there. They're showing up, and we're going to get the construction going, and things are moving along very well.
Definitely. Well, something that was mentioned in the council agenda is a groundbreaking ceremony. I'm sure everybody's very thrilled to hear about that. So tell us when that will be held and some more details about that.
Well, at 10 a.m. on Thursday the 28th, we're going to have a groundbreaking with shovels turning some dirt, and we're going to get started officially on the construction. There will be some preliminary work already done, but we just wanted to let everybody know that Opera House is coming. It's going to happen, and it's probably, we don't have the full schedule done, but it's going to be ready by the end of the year at the latest, and probably earlier. So.
Absolutely. Well, and you mentioned the footprint and the drawings. Let's remind our viewers of what are some of the features that we'll be able to see in the new Opera House.
Well, we have an expanded entrance into the Opera House, but we also have a pit, an orchestra pit that's below the stage and in front of the stage, and that's going to help in the pit under the stage will allow magic to happen where things appear on stage from underneath in a cloud of smoke. So it'll be fun. It'll add a lot more ability to create the magic of theater if we do that. It'll also have a second floor rehearsal hall so that they can be rehearsing the next production while the current production is going on. That was always a problem because when you had sets on the stage itself, they didn't really have the ability to rehearse right there, in an area that's the exact space. And the new rehearsal hall on the second floor will be the exact area so that they can plan all their moves and everything and have their practices.
Excellent. Well, and also new and updated restrooms, more restrooms, and concession stand as well. So
that's true.
Definitely. Well, everybody is looking forward to construction getting underway on that. And just a reminder, the groundbreaking, as Wayne said, Thursday, March 28th at 10 a.m. So let's also talk about something that was on the last City Council agenda, and that is Lake Granbury and a trip to Washington, D.C. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, the council is very committed on making sure that we get our point across that there needs to be something done about the management of the lake. The lake is probably is the greatest financial risk the city has right now. And we need to make sure that we're heard in terms of our concerns about economic impact, about population impact, and about safety. And so we've made some points to Luminant and to other people about our concerns, and now we're going to go to Washington and make them there as well. So we think it's a valid trip, obviously, because if in fact the lake is not managed properly, the taxpayers basically will be hit significantly. And it's not just the lake are the people who live on the lake. In actuality, if in fact this lake was continued to be mismanaged, then the taxes for people who live on the lake will go down. It's the people who don't live on the lake, their taxes will go up. Because if you lose valuation, you'll have to raise the tax rate. And the people who lost valuation, their taxes will be less that live on the lake. But the people who don't live on the lake, their taxes would go up because their tax rate went up. And so it's going to impact all taxpayers. And we just think it's important enough to make sure we make our point in the right places.
Definitely. And speaking of finances and taxes and all of that, also on the last City Council agenda was the comprehensive annual financial report. And there were some really great numbers and good news coming out of that. So tell us a little bit more on that.
Well, the city continues to work hard to make sure that we're proactive in creating a very good economic environment for the city. And our revenues, our tax revenues, are evidence of the fact that the city's doing well. Our sales tax was up right at 10%. Our ad valorem tax is held constant, and we're actually improving on that for the next year. But for 11-12 was a year where we had the highest sales tax in the history of Granbury.
Right.
Now, that's because we are proactive. The fact we're going out and saying if we don't do something about the lake, we could end up having a real problem, is being proactive and not waiting till it happens. So right now the news is good, okay? And the news continues to be good. We generated a surplus in the general fund and in the utility fund. And we are getting prepared for reserves that would help us to construct a water plant and to do a lot of things that are needed to help the community. So the report, which is our financial report, it's the financial condition of the city, was very strong. And we'll continue to do that because we're doing what we need to do to make sure the city's prosperous.
Excellent. Well, and is there anything else that you'd like to add as we wrap up today?
No, I think everything's going well. And we would invite people out to our groundbreaking for the Opera House. Other than that, we're doing fine.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Something's always happening in Granbury. For the latest events and happenings, look no further. GranburyTX.com has it all. From events to photos and even the local weather, GranburyTX.com is the place to go for all your local events. That's GranburyTX.com. Log on today. There's always something going on in Granbury. To keep up with the latest events and so much more, like us on Facebook. There are 3 main pages that will keep you up to date. The main city page is facebook.com/GranburyTX. Here you will find the latest events and news from the city. Next is Visit Granbury. Here you will find current events and visitor information. Finally, there's Granbury TV. You will find updates for local events as they happen and our most current shows. Liking us on Facebook is a great way to stay connected. Watch what you want, when you want. GranburyTV.org is not just for contacting us, but it allows you to watch any Granbury TV show at any time. Watch what you want, when you want at GranburyTV.org.
Next up is our park superintendent, Aaron McLean.
That's dog tired on the square, is that right?
Yes. And the official opening, I guess, with the ceremony and everything would be at 10.
10 till noon. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I figured that's just what I'll tell the vendors to be
Okay.
out there until. So, other than that, won't need a permit or anything. No stage.
No. You decide on the ribbon cutting? Are they going to do the ribbon cutting, or are we just going to?
I mean, I'm fine with either way. I don't know. I mean, I guess y'all did that with the firefighters.
Right.
Park, and I know Miss Julia is really involved in that. I know we're doing the groundbreaking, for the
Okay.
Opera House, and we're just doing that because we got the shovels and everything.
Okay.
The chamber doesn't have that, I don't think. So, whatever, I can set it up, or I don't have to set it up. Up to you.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
If someone comes up at the last minute and mentions it, then I'll.
Yeah, I mean, typically for things like that, we don't do a ribbon
Right.
cutting, right? Okay. I mean, not for something municipal. So, all right. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Aaron, thanks so much for taking your time out today and coming to tell us several items that were on the last City Council agenda and giving an update to our viewers. First, one of those updates was naming the new dog park. So I guess without further ado, if you were not at the City Council meeting, tell us what that new name is.
Well, the new name is Granbury Bark Park. Of course, I don't want to give credit where credit is due. You are the one that lined out the contest and everything, so we appreciate that.
Absolutely. It was really fun to conduct and get community input. We had well over 200 names submitted by the community, so we had lots to choose from.
Sure. I guess I'll tell you kind of the way that worked. You had the contest, people could come in person, right, and submit the names, or online. And then we did we narrowed it down to 3 names at a Parks Board meeting. And then, of course, took those 3 names to council that next Tuesday night.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, they voted on Granbury Bark Park out of those 3.
Yes, and it was a unanimous vote, actually.
Yes, it was.
So everybody's definitely in favor of that name. And I know you and your crew have been working really hard on getting that dog park all prepped for the grand opening. And tell us a little bit about what people will see out at the dog park. Tell us where it is. Just give us the whole rundown on the new bark park.
All right, well, it's located at 600 West Moore. And some people just are more familiar with the Moore Street Baseball Complex. It's at the entrance to that complex. Of course, there's a shaded area, and then there's an open area. So we have 4 different areas to use as a dog park. So in paved parking, or you can access it from the hike and bike trail as well. So and everything will be ready to go for the grand opening, which is April 20th. That's a Saturday morning from 10 till noon.
Definitely. And tell us, I know the dog park is looking so great. I mean, the fences are up, there's tunnels for the dogs to run and play, and water fixtures and all kinds of exciting things. On that day, you mentioned, there's several groups going to be involved. Tell us who those groups are and, what can people expect at the big grand opening? Okay.
Well, Halo will be there, and that's a local group that aids in the adoption of pets. And then Dog Tired from the Square will also be there. And they'll have tables, and you can get information from them. And from what I understand, we're going to invite people to bring their dogs, encourage them to bring their dogs, of course, on a leash if they're outside the dog park. And maybe you can get information on adopting a new pet from Halo.
Definitely. And I know Dog Tired's just been great, providing us some little prize packs for our winners in the dog park naming contest. Actually, with the Granbury Bark Park, that was one of the most popular names submitted, so we'll definitely be giving recognition to, I want to say that there's 9 contestants that entered that name, so maybe a little bit more. So I know that they'll be instrumental in rewarding those that help choose the new name.
Sure, it'd be great.
Definitely. Well, I know everybody's looking forward to that. Again, as Aaron mentioned, it's going to be Saturday, April 20th. From 10 a.m. to noon, lots of things to come out and get information about. Dogs can run and play, and everybody can enjoy the new facility that you guys have worked so hard on. Speaking of hard at work, on the last City Council agenda, we also had a professional services agreement with New Line Skate Park. So tell us a little bit about the new upcoming skate park and BMX park.
All right. Well, I know my superior, my boss, Keith Callahan, has told me that his son, when he was maybe 10 or 11 years old, said that he wrote a note to his father, who worked for the city, that he wanted a skate park. And he is in his mid to late 30s now. So that's how long, there's been a need and a want for a skate park in this community.
Definitely.
It's finally going to happen. Council approved a budget amount to build a skate park, this 2012-2013 budget. And just last Tuesday night, council did approve through New Line Skate Parks Incorporated to have them do some design work and planning, have engineered designs so we can contract out and have a skate park built.
Absolutely. Well, and I know everybody is certainly excited about that. And something that was very interesting about the services agreement is this company will come into the community, get input, host some town hall meetings that really, delve into the minds of the youth and what they're going to want.
That's correct.
Because they're going to be the ones that are using the park. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. That's really one of the reasons we pushed to go with this company, because they are skaters. You know, they have engineers, landscape architects, construction personnel, and they are all skaters. And I don't know, I'm not real up on the skater lingo, you know, so there's lots of terms I'm not familiar with, but I've seen some of the pictures of the work that they have done, and they've designed parks that range from $100,000 to $2.5 million.
Definitely, yeah.
And
amazing scope of work.
Yes, they've done work all over the country, and anybody that is a skater, even some adults, some guys my age, I'll say, hey, have you heard who's going to be designing the new skate park? And I'll tell them, and they'll say, oh, those guys are great. They've designed some really nice parks. So I'm really excited about it. Looking forward to working with those guys, and they will also help us put it out to bid and kind of walk us through that, make sure everything's apples to apples, and we get somebody in here to build a park who that's what they do for a living, is build parks.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit about now the timeline that we're looking at. Since council approved this services agreement, what's the next step? When will this all get underway?
Okay, right now we're working on a contract that both parties are happy with. We've already got the amount set, and we've already got the scope of work. Just got to get a contract signed, and then they say 6, 8, or maybe 10 weeks we could be looking at some preliminary design work. Of course, in that time we will, like you mentioned, be meeting with the public and trying to reach out to the kids, to the youth, and get their input, and then come back with some preliminary drawings, and of course, present those to Parks Board and to Council.
Definitely.
And get some ideas and input from everybody, and try to make all the kids happy in a place where they can, hang out and be comfortable.
Absolutely, and I know they're looking forward to enjoying that. Tell us a little bit about, where is the skate park? We talked about the dog park over on Moore Street.
Right.
Where is the plot of land?
Well, everybody's familiar with our soccer fields, our soccer facilities, and the parking lot there. It's going to actually be built kind of it would be the northeast corner of the soccer fields. We have plenty of room for a park and expansion in the future. It'll be easily accessible by the hike and bike trail. And like I said, we have parking there. We have access to water for irrigation and access to electricity for lights. So, we may try to do some of that work in-house. We really want to, our budget's $250,000 minus a $29,000 fee for the design. We really want to try to use as much of that remaining balance just in the park itself,
right?
The construction of the park, and try to help out where we can, like design work, irrigation and landscape design.
Right, and seating, and
right.
As you mentioned, the lights and everything, and it's so important. I mean, for a big complex like that, so that the kids can use that, even into the evening hours.
Sure.
So definitely very, very exciting, and it's right there, as you mentioned, in the middle, right by the baseball and soccer complex, and I mean, it's
right.
just becoming such an awesome outdoor area, right, all with the dog park
Sure.
and everything right there together. So I know y'all have been working very hard on that, and it's a project that everybody's been looking forward to for quite some time. So,
right.
Well, that's just great. So tell us, anything else going on in the Parks Department, or anything else that you'd like to add as we wrap up?
We did also have approved in the budget a shade cover or a canopy over the playground at Hewlett Park. So that's the next project in the works. We've got monies approved, so we have to put that out to bid and try to get that a large structure to cover that playground. So kids can use that throughout the summer.
Definitely.
It gets really hot, and it also prolongs the life of the structure itself.
Absolutely.
Keeps the colors from fading. So that's next
Well,
in line.
that's great. Well, y'all are always up to many, many projects in the Parks Department. Y'all do a wonderful job for our city.
Thank you.
And also, coming up just this week is the big Easter egg hunt.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
anything else you'd like to mention on that?
Just invite everybody to come out. Keep your fingers crossed on the weather.
Yeah.
Been watching the forecast. And Josh McGinnis, he's a recreations coordinator. He's been working really hard on this. So invite everybody to come out to the Easter egg hunt that's going to be in the city park this Saturday. So.
And that takes place from 11 to 2.
That's right.
Easter egg hunts for all ages, lots of entertainment, lots of prizes, booths.
Right.
I mean, you name it, it'll be out there.
That's
so
correct. Bounce houses and everything.
Lots of things for the kiddos to enjoy. Well, thanks so much, Aaron, and we just appreciate your time today and
Thank
all
you.
of the great information you provide.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. This has been another edition of City Corner.